the first point, right? Who's the founder? Who's the founder? Who's the team? Community. What does it do? It basically tries to go up into the right, but it's basically Bitcoin with not proof of work, but with staking, basically with time weighted staking and stuff like that, and then ultimate custody. That's what it is. And what it does is, but it pays interest out. So basically, because so few people stake the tokens in terms of the total supply of tokens, right? So you have a very large wallet, something called the OA, right? Which is the founder wallet, right? And it holds 80+% of the supply. And because only a certain percentage, I would say probably 30-40% of hexicans or hex people are actually staking, you end up having a very large amount of that 3.69% of inflation ends up getting distributed out to an average yield of, I think it was like 28% yield, 28% yield out per year. Pretty decent yield over time and stuff. And then Hex has been running since 2019. It's 2023. So it's been running for 3 years and some change. So it's one of the oldest. This is actually, people don't even think about this. Hex is one of the oldest tokens actually in crypto. One of the oldest. Ethereum I think was like 2015, 2016, 2019 for Hex, and then I mean, it's actually very very strange. It's a very strange sort of token that it's actually been around so long as well. Makes it very interesting. Now, the fourth point, right, which is major investors. Its major investors are basically normal people. This is why it was such an interesting sort of like launch. It launched with a fair launch. It allowed everyone to get in. It was a year-long sort of process where basically a little bit of tokens were distributed to everybody every single day, depending on how much Ethereum they ended up using to buy Hex. And because of this, you ended up getting a lot of normal people getting in mostly. And of course, there were some secret whales, of course, but you more or less got a very even dispersal of tokens. So in the crypto space generally, it actually is very unlikely that you'll ever kind of be in the beginning of a project. You typically will find out about it once it's already starting to get hyped up or it's already off its bottom. This is why Hex very different, is that it was pretty much a truly DeFi project that was distributed out pretty fairly to people depending on their belief in the system. And it allowed people to get in from the beginning for a full fucking year, from December 2nd of 2019 to basically December 1st or 2nd of 2020. And because of that allowed a lot of people to kind of get into the beginning of Hex and stuff, allowed it to stake it and stuff, and it's kind of perpetuated this really cool system. So it's a very unique sort of system. It's a very community-led sort of community. So it's kind of leaning double on community versus VCs. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a token that does have VCs, but it does change the sort of flavor of it. So just because of these parameters and the ability, like, it was so rare. Like, let me tell you this, back in 2019, it was so rare to get into the beginning of a project. I had been in crypto since like 2016. I literally had never been able to get in the ground floor of a project outside of like I got in within a month or two of it launching, but like I never got into something before it even launched and knew like, oh fuck, it's coming out. Like, just watching this, because like Richard had been pretty much talking about Hex since like 2018, basically basically early 2018, about to come with a token, and then eventually it birthed out in 2019, and being a part of that, it was really powerful, and look how it showed up. So you that's kind of the power. So it took an entire bear market to get it launched. It launched at the bottom of a bear market, and then it was I would probably say it was probably the third or second highest appreciating asset in all of the cryptocurrency. It was for a long time, until we had, right at the tail end, we had SHIB kind of launch and just do these crazy X's and stuff, but it came down. But you kind of had this huge amount of percentage gains, 10,000 X's, and people forget that that's kind of possible to earn that much like returns on capital and stuff like that. Bitcoin did it, Ethereum did it, and Hex is currently doing it and still doing it. Yeah, VC investments are also so rare. Yeah, you sometimes have to get into very special groups. Shout out to Citadel, baby. Probably one of the only other groups in all of cryptocurrency where you can actually get into some of these early projects and stuff and have a chance to be in the ground floor and stuff like that. So definitely join up to the Citadel, you guys, man. It is like, I can't talk too much about what's going on, but we do fight clubs in there, and it's it's pretty much one of the only places where a normal person can possibly get access to get into early things. It's a wait, but I think it's worth like the Hex wait was really worth it. And I think a lot of the stuff that gets done in the Citadel is also worth the wait as well. So shout out to you, man.